The words cut through me. She's just a distant relative who needed a place to stay. Still, I remain calm, my fingers tightening around the edge of the table. As her laughter rings out across the room, the sound sharpens in my ears, drowning out everything else. While I sit there, motionless, it hits me. My own daughter, my flesh and blood, has just erased me. The same inheritance she thought was her legacy. It's slipping away from her. That's when I make my decision. She'll never know how completely I've cut her out of everything she thought she deserved. Before we begin, may I ask, where in this big, beautiful world are you listening from? It's always a quiet honor to know who's sharing this space. Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. The laughter comes in waves, a ripple of voices gliding across the newly polished floors of Taryn's living room. Gloria stands just inside the hallway, her fingers brushing against the smooth wood paneling, trying to anchor herself. The faint clink of a glass being set down catches her attention, then Taryn's voice, cutting through the chatter with a sentence so simple, so callous, it almost sounds like a joke. She's just a distant relative who needed a place. The laughter that follows feels like a slap in the chest. Gloria's pulse picks up, but she doesn't move. She remains a shadow, half in the room, half out of it, the words sinking into her as if they've been buried in the ground for years. Her own daughter, Taryn, has erased her with a single line. She isn't even a mother anymore, not to her. The sounds of a celebration continue in the background, murmured conversations, clinking glasses, music softly playing from a corner speaker. But Gloria feels none of it. She's stuck in the hallway, her heart thumping as if the rhythm of life has shifted. And she's left behind, forgotten in this house she once helped build. Her breath comes slowly, deliberately. She turns, steadying herself against the wall as if it might help ground her. But it doesn't. She doesn't speak. She doesn't want to speak. Not yet. Later, when the last guest has finally left, and Taryn, in her usual sharp-edged way, begins tidying up, Gloria makes her move. She doesn't look directly at her daughter at first, but she feels Taryn's eyes dart over to her, then quickly away, like there's a flicker of guilt she's trying to extinguish. Gloria waits for Taryn to break the silence. It takes a moment. It's just easier than explaining everything, Taryn says, her voice casual, as though she's explaining a minor inconvenience, as though her mother's very existence is an inconvenience to be excused with a single sentence. Gloria doesn't respond immediately. She doesn't know how to. The words catch in her throat, and for a moment she wishes for the kind of woman she used to be, someone who could fire back with something sharp, something that would make her daughter flinch. But instead she nods, quietly, as if acknowledging the truth of what's been said. She could say so much. She could tear into Taryn with the years of sacrifice, the quiet moments of nurturing that went unnoticed, unappreciated. She could demand an apology, but the words don't come. Instead, she remains silent. She's been silent long enough. It's not until Cole steps in, his voice clipped, that the air thickens. "You'll be out soon anyway, right?" he asks. But it's not a question. It's a statement dressed as one, like they both already know the answer. His eyes never leave the glass he's wiping down, as if Gloria's presence in the room is a mere formality. The room spins briefly, like the weight of it all has suddenly pressed down on her chest, but she doesn't flinch. Gloria lifts her teacup, the one she gave Taryn at her wedding, the one Taryn has never once noticed as anything more than a decorative piece, a token of the past. She stares at it for a moment, the porcelain handle cool in her fingers, the fine pattern now a strange relic of a life that's slipping away. The smile that had once crossed Taryn's face when she received the gift, like a child unwrapping something precious, feels 1,000 miles away now. The teacup has become a symbol of everything she's lost, everything she's been reduced to. "I'll be fine," Gloria says quietly, her voice almost unrecognizable to herself. She doesn't look at Taryn or Cole. She stares at the teacup, her hands steady despite the tremor she can feel in her chest. The moment stretches on, a tension hanging between them that neither of the others seems to notice. It's as if she doesn't exist, not really. They've erased her with their words, their subtle dismissal. There's no room left for her, not here, not in their lives. But Gloria knows better than to show weakness now. She's been quiet for too long. The silence has carried her this far. But that is about to change. She sets the teacup down, the sound of it echoing like a quiet declaration. And when she speaks again, it's not to Taryn or Cole. It's to herself. I'll be fine. But now she isn't sure if she means it. The cafe is quiet, too quiet, almost. The hum of the espresso machine, the clink of a spoon against a porcelain cup, the soft tap of a phone screen. It feels like the world outside is moving too fast, and this corner is the only place that remains untouched. Gloria slides into the booth, her back straight, her hands clasped in her lap. The air smells faintly of vanilla and coffee beans, but it's the conversation she's about to have that fills the space with tension. Dory is already there, a half-empty cup of tea beside her, the edges of her glasses catching the dim light. Her eyes, sharp, calculating, take in Gloria the moment she sits down, as though reading her from the inside out. She's not the kind of woman to sugarcoat anything, and Gloria knows that well. Well? Dory's voice is low, even for her, but there's a steel edge to it. She's not here for pleasantries, she's here for business. Gloria doesn't answer right away. She's been waiting for this moment, even rehearsing it in her head, except now that she's here, facing Dory, she feels like she's floating. Finally, Gloria exhales a slow breath, her fingers tapping lightly against the napkin. I need it to end, the way I always imagined it would. She presses her lips together, the words leaving a bitter taste behind, but not with noise, just clean. Dory nods, her lips curling in a hint of approval. She's been in this game long enough to know when a client is ready, when they've passed the point of no return, when they're beyond redemption, but also beyond care. You don't need a dramatic ending, you need permanence, Dory says, her pen already poised over a legal pad. We'll fix this, permanently. Gloria glances out the window, watching the slow parade of pedestrians pass by. For a second, she wonders how many of them are living lives just like hers, full of quiet betrayals, small moments of erasure. She wonders if they ever feel like they're fading, unnoticed. Dory shifts her gaze to Gloria's face, sharp as ever. Let's get down to it. The accounts, liquid assets, property, the works. Gloria hesitates, then pulls out a folder from her bag. Sleek, black, and lined with financial documents she's studied for weeks. It's everything she has left, the sum total of her life's work. 7 figures, Gloria says, her voice steady now. Fully liquid, plus real estate and retirement assets. Dory doesn't flinch. Ben and Lila, she asks, her pen poised. Gloria nods, the weight of the decision pressing her chest. They're the only ones who deserve it. Taryn and Cole, they've had enough. There's no emotion in her voice, just a cold truth. She's made up her mind. She'd given them everything, her time, her money, her love. But that's not enough for them, not anymore. She swallows hard, her throat tight with the rawness of it. I fed her, paid for her college. I did everything she asked me to, and this is what I get in return? Her hand trembles slightly, the flicker of frustration she's kept at bay now finally surfacing. I deserve more than invisibility, Dory writes, her pen scratching quickly across the page. A revocable trust, she murmurs to herself, her handwriting swift and precise. We'll remove Taryn and Cole. They're out. Gloria exhales, a weight lifting from her shoulders as Dory writes the legal jargon, words that will seal the future she's crafting. It feels like the first real step toward freedom. Freedom from the daughter who treated her like an obligation. Freedom from the husband who never truly saw her. As Dory finishes, she slides the papers across the table. Gloria glances down at the document, a feeling of finality settling in her bones. It's done. There's no going back now. But just as she reaches for the pen to sign, Dory pauses, her eyes narrowing. There's one thing you need to understand, Gloria, she says, her voice quiet, but unyielding. Once you sign this, you'll be more than just invisible to them. You'll be gone, erased. And they won't just lose the fortune they thought was theirs. They'll lose you too. Gloria's fingers hover over the pen. The words sting, but they're not wrong. She'll be gone, completely, irrevocably. But it's a small price to pay for the peace she'll finally reclaim. She signs. And just like that, Gloria becomes a ghost to her own family. The finality of it hits her, and she doesn't know if it's relief or grief she feels more. But there's no time to ponder it, no time to look back. Her future has been written, and it's one she'll never have to explain again. Not to Taryn, not to anyone. The door to the cafe opens with a soft jingle, but Gloria doesn't turn to look. She's already moved on. The note is crumpled, the edges soft from the time Gloria has spent reading it, over and over, as if trying to find something more in the words. She reads it again, the small, imperfect handwriting of Lila, her granddaughter, the one person left who has never made her feel invisible. I miss you. I remember when you used to tell me stories. Can we have coffee sometime? Just us, like we used to. Her eyes blur, the tears catching her breath before they can fall. She folds the note carefully, gently, and slips it into the worn leather of her wallet. The one she's had for years, but now feels like the only piece of herself she hasn't lost. It's a quiet moment, but the significance of it doesn't escape her. Lila's words are a lifeline, a bridge in a world where everyone else has turned their back. The world outside the cafe window is loud, people rushing past, cars honking, the distant murmur of busy lives happening all around her. But for a moment, Gloria feels as though she's suspended in time. The cafe is her sanctuary, the smell of coffee mingling with the soft murmur of other patrons, and the warmth of the mug she holds between her hands grounds her. The door chimes softly as Lila enters, her figure small but determined. Gloria sees the way she looks around, scanning the room before her eyes land on Gloria, and the relief that floods her face is undeniable. It's a secret meeting, the kind that is stolen from the world around them, like an unspoken promise of something pure in the middle of all the confusion. Lila slides into the seat across from her, her eyes bright with curiosity, her fingers tapping nervously against the table. Gloria doesn't say anything at first. Instead, she reaches into her bag and pulls out the note, unfolding it just enough to show Lila. Lila's eyes widen, then soften. "You keep it with you?" she asks, her voice low, careful. Gloria nods, a quiet smile tugging at her lips. "Always," she says, her fingers lightly tracing the words. Every word means something. Lila leans in, looking at the words on the paper, then glances up at Gloria. "I still don't understand why they don't talk to Uncle Ben," she says, the question innocent. But Gloria feels the weight of it, the truth buried beneath her granddaughter's curiosity. The question brings a quiet sadness into Gloria's chest. She sighs, looking out the window for a long moment, watching the world go by as if it could somehow explain what's happened. "Because he stopped applauding them," she says finally, her voice carrying the sharp edges of something that's been festering for years. "He stopped pretending they were the perfect little family. He saw them for what they really are." Lila doesn't ask for more, though Gloria knows the questions are still there, in the girl's eyes, in the way she's holding back. But there's no need to explain it further. Lila is beginning to understand more than anyone gives her credit for. The silence stretches between them, comfortable yet heavy. Gloria stirs her coffee slowly, watching the liquid swirl, her mind drifting. Then, Lila asks another question, one that makes Gloria's chest tighten slightly, but in a way she can't ignore. Do you think they'll ever fix things?" Lila's voice is quiet, uncertain, like she's afraid of the answer. Gloria sets her spoon down, her fingers curling lightly around her mug. The question feels like a weight that she's been carrying, even though she knows the answer. She's been fixing something all along, something she doesn't fully understand yet. But she feels it inside her, the shift, the change, the need to stand up and finally say enough. "I think," Gloria starts slowly, choosing her words carefully. "I think I'm fixing something now." Her eyes lock with Lila's, and there's something unspoken in the way they look at each other, a silent agreement, a shared understanding. Lila nods, not pressing, just accepting. But Gloria can see the glimmer of something behind her eyes. Hope, maybe, or perhaps the beginning of a realization. Either way, it feels like something important has passed between them. Gloria finishes her coffee, the warmth lingering as she sets the empty cup down. There's a heaviness in the pit of her stomach, a mix of uncertainty and resolve. She doesn't know how this will all play out, or if there's any hope left of ever fixing what's broken. But what she does know is this: Lila still sees her. Lila still remembers. And for the first time in a long while, Gloria feels like she's not invisible. "I'm glad you came," Gloria says softly, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of thoughts in her mind. Lila smiles, the kind of smile that makes Gloria feel a little less alone, a little more certain. And for the first time in a long time, Gloria feels the stirrings of something resembling hope. The man across from Gloria is all polished smiles and clean lines, his suit crisp, his hair perfectly in place. He's holding a folder, thick, official-looking, and Gloria knows the moment he slides it across the table. It's another step in a game she's learned to play without caring about the rules. "I think this might be the right fit for you," he says, his voice smooth, measured. "We've been discussing a few options, and I'd say this would suit your lifestyle perfectly." His eyes are too bright, too eager, as if he's convinced this is something Gloria should be thrilled about. Gloria smiles politely, nodding as she lifts the folder. She opens it, glancing through the papers filled with jargon, investment opportunities, plans for a new property, the usual promises of security and future wealth, all designed to lull her into thinking that this is how she should act now. "I'll consider it," she says, her voice steady, betraying nothing. She slides the folder back across the table. He nods, clearly pleased with her non-committal response. "Take your time, let me know when you're ready to make the call," he adds with a polite smile, as if he's done his job, and now it's up to her to play along. But Gloria knows better. It's a fit they tried to force, a life they wanted her to step into, a life where she'd be no more than a pawn, her every move orchestrated and controlled by their expectations. This man, this sterile business figure, isn't looking out for her best interests. He's only interested in perpetuating the narrative that Taryn and Cole have constructed, one where Gloria is a distant figure, something to be managed, moved around. When he leaves, Gloria's fingers tremble for a brief second, the tension settling like dust in her bones. She hadn't said anything for a reason. This isn't the life she's going to choose anymore, not the one that fits in their neat boxes, not the one they tried to shove her into. She places the folder carefully on the table, standing and walking over to the window, looking out over the sprawling view of Scottsdale's manicured skyline. Her thoughts turn back to the trust, the one Dory has worked tirelessly on, making sure every detail is locked tight. Dory's final move had been crucial, a no-contest clause. No one will ever be able to contest Gloria's decisions, her legacy. Not now, not ever. Gloria's grip tightens on the windowsill, her reflection in the glass sharp and clear. When she turns back, there's a quiet moment of peace before her phone vibrates on the table. It's a call from Ben. She answers it, hearing his familiar voice on the other end, raw and real compared to everything that's gone on with Taryn and Cole. "Still surviving your PR handler?" Ben jokes, his voice dry but affectionate, as if they're sharing a moment of shared understanding. Gloria smiles, the warmth of it unexpected but welcome. "You could say that," she replies, but the lightness in her tone doesn't reach her eyes. "It's been a bit of a challenge." Ben doesn't miss the shift. "I've been watching from afar. You know, I always thought you were going to end up being the quiet one. But now, you're still holding the deed to their karma, Gloria." The words land heavily, a recognition of everything that has been left unsaid. Ben knows. He knows that she's done more than just survive. She's made her move, and Taryn and Cole have no idea how close they are to losing everything. "I'm not sure I'm ready to claim it yet," Gloria says softly, her voice betraying more of the uncertainty that's been growing in her chest. "But I'm getting there." Ben's laughter on the other end is low and comforting. "You'll get there, Gloria. You've always been the strongest of us." Gloria hangs up the phone with a deep breath, her heart steadying. She feels the weight of the trust she's placed in herself, and the silence that stretches between her and the family she's about to cut off completely. On her desk, the phone rings again. This time, it's from an unknown number. Gloria hesitates for a moment before answering, the familiar feeling of the world shifting again. This time with something she can't yet name. Her pulse quickens as she hears the voice on the other end. The cool, composed tone of Taryn, as if the conversation she's about to have could somehow erase everything Gloria has worked for. "I need to talk to you," Taryn says, her voice clipped. "We need to fix this. I'm sorry you're upset. but we've got a reputation to think about. Gloria feels the edges of her patience stretch thin, but she's not ready to give in, not now. Her decision is final, and Taryn's voice, no matter how pleading, can't change that. No, Gloria says, her voice calm but resolute. You've had your chance. I'm fixing something now. And with that, she ends the call. The path ahead is clear, and Gloria steps into it with quiet determination. There's no going back now. Gloria watches as Taryn posts a picture of herself at a gala. The caption reads, "Grateful for my entrepreneurial roots, and to the distant relative who taught me resilience." The words sting, but she doesn't react. Instead, she leans back in her chair, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. The picture is carefully curated, a version of the past she no longer recognizes. Gloria's place in it is nothing but a shadow. She quickly types a message to Dory. "Cute." Dory responds almost immediately. "I'll draft the letter. We'll clear this up for you." Gloria closes the laptop, her eyes lingering on the screen for a moment, before she stands up and walks over to the window. The view of Scottsdale's skyline, its neat, curated beauty, feels just as staged as Taryn's post. A world where she's no longer welcome. Her phone vibrates, interrupting her thoughts. It's Rami. She answers quickly. "I came by to check on the place," he says, voice steady, offering some grounding. "Is it coming along?" Gloria asks, her voice betraying nothing. "It's getting there. 3 weeks, maybe less." He sounds confident. The repairs, after all, are more than just about fixing walls. It's about making her space her own again. "Good," Gloria says softly, pressing the phone between her ear and shoulder as she walks to the bedroom. There, lying on the bed, is a sketch pad. On it, a portrait of her, tenderly drawn. Beneath it, the words, "Founding Mother." Lila's work. The words hit harder than Gloria expects. A legacy, untarnished by the manipulations of Taryn and Cole, drawn with love, not obligation. She runs her fingers lightly over the sketch, the curve of the pencil's line both comforting and painfully honest. This is how Lila sees her, something that was never lost, despite everything. Rami enters quietly, noticing the portrait. "She's got a way of seeing you, huh?" he says, his voice gentle. Gloria stands silently for a moment, the weight of it pressing on her chest. She turns to him. "I don't think they'll ever understand, but she will." Rami nods, not needing to say anything else. There's understanding in his silence. He knows this is more than a sketch, more than just a drawing. It's her truth, the one that will never be erased. The quiet hum of the world outside is still there, pressing in with its expectations, its revisions of who she was. But in this room, with this portrait, Gloria feels something different, a clarity, a strength that Taryn's narrative can't touch. Gloria walks back toward her desk. Her phone buzzes again. It's a message from Dory. "Letter is almost done. We'll post it tomorrow. Time to take your name back." She takes a deep breath, feeling a quiet resolve take root. The future isn't a blank page anymore, nor is it one written by others. She's rewriting it herself. Gloria stands in front of the window, the city outside her quiet witness. The words Dory sent her echo in her mind. Time to take your name back. She feels it now, more than ever, the pull of something beyond the past she's been erased from. This is the beginning of the story she will finally own. With a steady breath, she turns from the window, ready to step into a future that belongs to her alone. Gloria picks up the phone, steadying her breath as she dials the bank. The conversation is short, precise. Cole failed the identity verification. Her grip tightens around the receiver as the confirmation rings through. His access is officially revoked. No one will touch her accounts again. She places the phone down gently, the cool plastic of the receiver a reminder of what she's done. She doesn't celebrate. This has been too long in the making, but she feels something shift within her, a quiet satisfaction. She's made her move. It's done. Turning away from the desk, she walks across the room to the window, looking out at Scottsdale's skyline. The world beyond is pristine, manicured, and orderly, just like everything Taryn and Cole tried to make her life. But this moment, this small victory, is hers. She takes a deep breath, the weight of it grounding her. Her phone buzzes. Rami's name lights up the screen. She picks up. "I came by to check on the place," he says, his voice steady as always. Is it coming along? Gloria asks, as if she hasn't just made a decisive break from her family. 3 weeks, maybe less, Rami answers. We'll have it ready for you. Good, she replies. The repairs aren't just about fixing walls. It's about creating space for herself again. She hangs up, feeling a strange quiet settling in her chest. Turning toward the bedroom, she finds the sketchpad Lila left on the bed. The portrait of Gloria, tender and simple, sits beneath the words, Founding Mother. It's Lila's work, and it hits Gloria harder than she expected. The truth of it, the love, a legacy untouched by the manipulations of Taryn and Cole. Rami appears in the doorway, noticing the portrait. She's got a way of seeing you, huh? He says, a soft understanding in his voice. Gloria runs her fingers over the delicate lines, her voice barely a whisper. I don't think they'll ever understand, but she will. Rami says nothing, but the quiet solidarity in his expression is enough. He knows this isn't just a sketch, it's a piece of Gloria's truth. The one Taryn and Cole tried to erase, but Lila still sees. Gloria turns back toward her desk. The phone buzzes again, and this time, it's Dory. It's done, Dory says. We've locked everything down. The alert's been filed. Any attempt to contest anything, they're out. Done. The relief is short-lived, replaced by something sharper. There's no going back now. The walls are built. The future has been rewritten. The phone rings once more. It's Taryn. I noticed a weird alert on one of your accounts. Taryn's voice comes through, too calm, too practiced. Must be a glitch or something. Gloria's fingers tighten around the edge of the counter. The call, their voices, their manipulations, feel far away now. Probably a relative, she says, the words falling flat, but precise. Someone who doesn't appreciate being erased from their family's history. There's a long silence. Gloria waits, knowing there's nothing more to say. Taryn will never understand. I'll check it out, Taryn finally responds, her voice tight. Gloria doesn't need to hear more. She hangs up without another word. The weight of the conversation lingers, but Gloria doesn't let it overwhelm her. She's protected herself, her legacy, and whatever comes next is now in her hands. The future will be written in her terms, and this time, no one can take that from her. She walks toward the closet where the safe is waiting. The click of the lock sounds like finality. The gala is glittering, full of smiles and perfectly curated conversations. The kind of event where the world seems polished, just like the people who attend. Gloria slips through the crowd, her gown, bought for her decades ago by her late husband, sweeping the floor behind her like a quiet reminder of a different time. A time when her presence had meaning, when she had mattered. But tonight, the gown feels more like armor than a piece of elegance. She is no longer the glamorous matriarch of a family. Tonight, she's an accessory, a silent shadow in the backdrop of Taryn's moment. The program is on the table in front of her, its glossy pages gleaming in the dim light. Gloria scans the names with a practiced eye, stopping when she reaches Taryn's. The bold print reads, Taryn Shields Gallagher, first-generation entrepreneur. Her throat tightens, but she doesn't react. There's no need to. They've rewritten the story, claimed a past that doesn't belong to them. And tonight, Taryn is the shining star, just as she's always wanted to be. But Gloria's name is relegated to the bottom of the page, listed simply as supporter. The words cut deep, but Gloria doesn't let them show. She's too far past that. She's been erased, not by Taryn, but by her own silence, her own concessions. The invisible woman who stands in the wings, applauding the show that isn't hers. As the night unfolds, Gloria stands off to the side, her hands folded quietly in her lap. Cole, ever the strategist, takes the microphone with a practiced ease, his voice smooth as he introduces Taryn. Building from nothing, Cole says, his words wrapping around Taryn like a carefully chosen blanket, a narrative crafted to make her shine. From humble beginnings to where we are today, an entrepreneurial powerhouse. Gloria feels the words settle like dust in the air around her, the truth that's been swept away for the sake of optics. From across the room, Lila catches her eye. The girl's gaze is full of an apology too large for words. Gloria nods subtly, a quiet acknowledgement that speaks volumes in a room where everything is supposed to be seen and not felt. The night wears on, and Gloria's thoughts shift, the weight of the moment lingering in her chest. Then a local business columnist approaches her, his expression polite but curious. He stands a little too close, his eyes scanning her like a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit. "And you are?" he asks, the question hanging between them like a challenge. Gloria's smile is thin, her eyes unwavering. She could play along, could pretend to be the dutiful mother, the proud supporter, but tonight something shifts inside her, a quiet defiance. "I'm the part they skipped," she says softly but firmly. The columnist blinks, unsure of what to say next, but Gloria doesn't wait for a response. She turns, letting the words settle in the air behind her. Tonight isn't about fitting into the narrative they've crafted. Tonight, she takes the space they tried to erase. Her phone buzzes in her pocket, the vibration a sharp reminder of everything happening beneath the surface. She pulls it out, her fingers skimming over the text from Dory. Everything's filed. They're legally off the map now. The finality of the words lands in her chest like a stone. She has nothing left to prove. Taryn and Cole are out of her life, legally, financially, cut off. They've lost their claim to everything she built. And in that silence, Gloria finds a strange peace. The night hums around her, the crowd oblivious to the quiet revolution she's been waging in the shadows. But as she looks out over the room, the weight of the evening settles in her bones. She's not a supporter anymore. She's not an accessory. She's the one who will be remembered, even if it's not tonight. The gala may have erased her, but she's written her own name into the future, in a way that can never be undone. Gloria's fingers hover over the phone, the weight of the call heavier than she expected. She dials the nonprofit registry, her heart steady, but her thoughts scattered. The line rings a moment before a polite voice answers. "Nonprofit registry, how may I help you?" "I'd like to confirm some records," Gloria says, her voice calm, but there's an edge to it now, a resolve that has grown with each passing day. "I'm checking the funding history for a center, the Shields Foundation." The voice on the other end clicks through a few keys. Gloria can hear the soft rustle of paper, the distant hum of a printer. A few seconds later, the woman speaks again. "There are no records linking your name to any of the donations or financial activity for the Shields Foundation. No contributions have been traced to you." Gloria's breath catches for a moment, but she doesn't let it show. She knew. She had suspected, and now it's confirmed. "Thank you," she says, her voice betraying nothing, even as a quiet storm brews inside her. The foundation, the one Taryn and Cole had built, claimed as their own, without her involvement, without her contribution. The money that was supposed to be hers had been siphoned off, used for a vision that had never included her. She hangs up, a finality settling in her chest. They had erased her from everything, but they'd forgotten one thing. Her name was still on the deed. Her trust, the foundation she had unknowingly built to be stolen from her. Gloria stares at the phone for a moment longer before turning her gaze toward the folder on her desk. The legal paperwork is already there, just waiting for Dory's preemptive strike. She picks up the phone again, dialing her lawyer's number, her fingers still steady despite the surge of emotion underneath. "Dory," she says, once the call connects. "We need to take action. Any future claim linking my trust to that center is prohibited. I'm not leaving this open for interpretation." Dory's voice comes through with its usual no-nonsense tone. "Understood. We'll file immediately. They won't be able to touch it." Gloria feels a weight lift, but it's only temporary. She knows this will only escalate, but she's done letting Taryn and Cole walk away with the credit. She'll shut them down, legally and irrevocably. As she ends the call, there's a soft knock at the door. Rami steps in, holding a few paint swatches in his hand, his smile steady as ever. "The place is almost ready," he says, walking over to the table. "We'll finish up in a few days. It'll be yours." Gloria looks around the space, still in transition, but the potential is clear. She can feel it. This space becoming hers alone. She nods toward the swatches, appreciative but distant. "It's coming along well." "Thank you." Rami nods, setting the swatches down. "Anything else you need? I'm around if you want help with anything." She smiles faintly, the first true smile she's had in days. "Just keep the walls straight, Rami. This time, I'm in control of what gets built." Rami doesn't say anything, but he gives a knowing glance and leaves the room, leaving her to settle back into the silence of her thoughts. But then her phone buzzes again, and this time it's a message from Lila. A single file attachment. Gloria opens it, and there's an audio clip. She presses play. Taryn's voice, sharp and dismissive, filters through the phone. She's more useful silent than involved. She's better off just staying out of it. The words feel like a slap, but they don't land the way they used to. Not anymore. Gloria listens to the clip in silence, a quiet fire igniting inside her. She's been silenced for too long. But now, the walls they've built, the lies they've told, are finally coming down. With a deep breath, Gloria leans back in her chair, her fingers curling around the edges of the desk. Her eyes narrow as she presses send on a message back to Dory. Time to make them pay. The battle isn't over. In fact, it's only just beginning. The photo isn't one she expected to buy. It was taken at the gala, unnoticed by Taryn, a candid shot of the back of her daughter's head, her face turned away. In the foreground, Gloria is in the shadows, watching, her expression unreadable, yet full of something Taryn would rather ignore. The image is haunting, a frame frozen in time that speaks volumes of everything unsaid. Gloria holds the print in her hands, the weight of it both comforting and devastating. It's the last piece of a puzzle she never wanted to solve, an image that says more than any words could. She has it now, and it's hers to use. She leans over her desk, placing the photo down beside the open manuscript of her op-ed. The title is already there. When legacy isn't inherited, it's erased. Her fingers hover above the keyboard, each tap deliberate. She writes quickly, with precision, each word more certain than the last. It's not just a statement, it's a declaration. The op-ed is concise, sharp, and unapologetic. It doesn't hold back. Gloria writes about the erosion of her role in her daughter's life, about being rendered invisible in the very story she helped create. She speaks of how the legacy she built, the one that should have been passed down, was stripped away in favor of a manufactured narrative. Taryn's success is built on her exclusion, on the silence that Gloria was forced to endure. She hits send on the final draft, watching as the article disappears into the ether, ready to be shared with the world. The op-ed goes viral almost immediately. It's picked up by local news outlets, gaining traction in community circles, especially among older women who resonate with the quiet injustices Gloria has endured. They share it, comment on it, and it spreads like wildfire. The weight of their collective voices builds a force Gloria never expected. She feels a strange mix of vindication and dread, as if the world has finally seen the story from her perspective. Dory, ever vigilant, takes steps to protect Gloria's image and words. She ensures that the photo and the article are locked down under Gloria's intellectual property rights. No one will profit from this image without her say. The piece belongs to her now, her story, her truth. Meanwhile, Taryn tries to do damage control. She releases a statement, calls in a few favors, and tries to erase the narrative Gloria has started to write. But Gloria refuses to give interviews, refuses to be drawn back into the spectacle. She's done being part of the show, done being a pawn in someone else's carefully curated world. As Gloria sips her coffee, the phone buzzes again. It's a message from Lila. Sometimes silence is the loudest volume. The words settle in her chest like a bomb, quiet but profound. Gloria smiles to herself, the weight of everything she's been through suddenly feeling lighter. The battle isn't over, but for the first time in a long time, Gloria feels like she's in control. The world may have tried to erase her, but she's not just going to fade away. She's made her mark, and it's one that cannot be undone. In the quiet of her office, as the weight of the world shifts beneath her feet, Gloria realizes the photo is more than just a capture of a moment. It's a symbol of her reclamation. The legacy she was denied is now hers again. And Taryn's carefully built world? It's starting to crack. The silence isn't just golden, it's deafening. And Gloria is finally speaking her truth. The envelope is thin, the paper crisp, and Gloria knows without opening it who it's from. It's a message she's been expecting, but not the kind of thank you one would ever want to receive. She slices the seal with careful precision, her fingers cold as she pulls out the single sheet of paper. The words are typed, clinical, devoid of any warmth. Thank you for your historical impact. No signature. No recognition of the years she gave, the moments she sacrificed, the woman she once was to them. Just that one line, simple and detached, like a form letter, impersonal and cold. Gloria stares at it for a long time, her grip tightening around the paper, the weight of it sinking in. It's meant to mock her, to diminish everything she built. She rises from the chair, the note still clutched in her hand, and walks toward the kitchen. The flame flickers to life in the stove, and with a swift motion, she sets the paper to the fire. The edges curl, the ink blackening as it shrinks into ash, falling in slow motion. Gloria watches, her face expressionless, until the last remnants of the note disappear into smoke. She takes the ashes, delicate and fragile, and feeds them into a potted plant sitting by the window. It's a plant that's been growing since she moved in, a small reminder of life continuing, despite the weight of everything that had come before. The ashes settle in the soil, unseen but somehow present. As the last bit of the note disintegrates, Gloria feels something inside her shift, a lightness she hasn't felt in years. The power she'd once handed away, so quietly and so willingly, is now returned to her. She has nothing left to prove. Taryn's hollow thanks won't touch her, not anymore. The condo is finished. Rami had come by earlier, overseeing the final touches. The new floors gleam under the soft lighting, the space bright, fresh, and hers in a way it's never been before. She walks through the rooms, the echo of her footsteps grounding her. It's still a work in progress, but the foundation is hers. No one else will take it from her. She runs her hand over the new countertops, the smoothness beneath her fingertips a contrast to the sharp, jagged edges of the past. The silence feels different now. This time, it's her silence. It's her space. The finality of it is almost overwhelming, but it's a relief. Later, Lila visits. Her footsteps are quiet as she enters, her eyes bright but unsure. She holds something in her hands, something small, wrapped in a cloth. Gloria looks up, meeting her gaze, a sense of calm washing over her. Lila hands her the object, and when Gloria unwraps it, she finds a journal inside. Lila smiles, her voice soft. Write what they forgot. Gloria takes the journal in her hands, feeling its weight. The words sit heavy in the air, but there's no bitterness. It's a reminder of what's been lost and what's still here. Her truth, her legacy, and now, finally, the space to claim them. Gloria walks to the desk and sits down, pulling out the documents she's already drafted, the final trust letter. There are no revisions left to make. It's final. Her eyes scan over the words, the legalities that will forever sever any connection to Taryn and Cole. There's no going back now, no room for doubt. She places the pen on the paper, signing her name. The weight of the ink is heavy, and yet, the action is light, almost freeing. Her legacy is now legally hers, no contest, no further claims. She has done what she set out to do. The sound of the doorbell rings through the quiet apartment, breaking her concentration. Gloria stands, walking toward the door, where she finds Dory waiting, a small envelope in her hand. "I filed it," Dory says with a slight smile. "The trust is locked, and the sealed copy is on its way to Taryn. I've sent her a courtesy letter. She's no longer included." Gloria feels the finality of it all settle in her bones. This is it. This is the last of it. No more games. No more being forgotten. She smiles, real, unburdened, and nods. "Thank you," she says quietly. It's the only thing left to say. And in the quiet of the moment, it feels like the most honest thing she's said in years. As Dory leaves, Gloria stands in the doorway for a long moment, letting the weight of the silence fill her. It isn't a silence of absence, but one of completion. Her past has been erased, but it's been replaced with something stronger, something unshakable. She has no regrets. And with that, she closes the door, the click of the lock resounding like a promise to herself. Gloria arrives at Taryn's house, stepping out of the car with a quiet grace. The evening air is cool, but it doesn't touch the heat that's simmering just beneath her skin. She's dressed in a simple but elegant dress, the kind she's worn 1,000 times before. It's not for them. It's for her. It's the last time she'll wear it for them. The door opens with a sound of expectation, but no warmth. Taryn stands there, a smile plastered to her face that doesn't quite reach her eyes. She doesn't step forward, doesn't embrace her mother as she once would have. Instead, she gestures for Gloria to come inside. "Mom," she says, her voice a little too light, a little too practiced. "I'm glad you could make it." Gloria nods, offering no words of comfort or pleasantries. She steps inside and takes in the room. Everything is pristine, carefully curated, just like Taryn's life. There's a table set for 3, the candlelight flickering softly as though it's meant to disguise the coldness in the air. The wine sits on the table, already poured, its red hue a stark contrast to the silence that hangs heavy between them. Cole is sitting at the table, his posture as stiff as ever. He offers a slight smile, though it's more of a formality than anything else. There's a chill in the way they greet her, in the way they look at her, as though they expect something, but are unsure of what. Taryn picks up her glass of wine, the sound of it clinking against the stem filling the empty space. "We've been meaning to talk," she says, setting the glass down with a little too much care. "Things got misinterpreted, you know. I never meant to make you feel erased." Gloria doesn't respond immediately, letting the words hang in the air. She's heard this before. This soft apology, this attempt to rewrite history. It's not enough. It will never be enough. Cole shifts in his seat, breaking the tension with his own carefully crafted words. "We thought we were honoring the family name," he says, leaning back in his chair, his voice smooth. But there's something empty in the way he says it. It's not a real explanation. It's a rehearsed excuse. Gloria feels the weight of their words, but she doesn't flinch. Instead, she reaches for her purse, opening it with slow, deliberate motions. From inside, she pulls out 2 items, the op-ed and the final trust letter. She places them carefully on the table, the sound of paper against wood sharp in the silence. "This," she says, her voice low but steady, "is the family name." She watches as Taryn and Cole glance at each other, their faces shifting, caught between surprise and realization. Gloria doesn't look at them. She's already moved past them. The truth has been laid out before them, and there's no denying it. They can no longer claim what isn't theirs. "This is the last time I'll dine with Performance," Gloria says, her voice cutting through the air like a knife. Her words linger between them, heavy with the finality of everything she's left unsaid. Taryn opens her mouth as if to say something, but Gloria doesn't give her the chance. Instead, she stands, her chair scraping softly against the floor. There's nothing left to say. She's done. She turns and walks toward the door. As she reaches for the handle, her phone buzzes in her pocket. She pulls it out, glancing at the message. It's from Lila. "I'm proud of you." Gloria's lips twitch upward, a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. She types a quick response and sends it off. The weight of the night presses against her chest as she steps outside. The door clicks shut behind her, and the quiet of the evening surrounds her, the silence profound and complete. She's done. There's no more pretending, no more games. The world can try to erase her, but she'll keep writing her own story in her own way. The dinner may have come cold, but the truth Gloria carries with her is the one that will always endure. The email from Dory arrives in the middle of the afternoon, sharp and cold with the weight of a legal storm ready to break. Gloria opens it and scans the details: notarized mental competency, financial logs, and dated communications. Dory has prepared everything to defend her. Every inch of the evidence is carefully laid out, proof that she's not the woman they've tried to paint her as. The claim that Gloria is mentally unfit to manage her affairs, unsubstantiated. Gloria leans back in her chair, the document feeling like a heavy anchor in her lap. Taryn and Cole have tried to drag her through the mud, to undermine her with a false accusation that would strip her of everything she's fought for. But Dory's fire burns brighter, turning their lies into dust. She closes the file and picks up her phone, dialing a few numbers. One by one, the pieces of her defense fall into place. Her neighbors, Rami, even the photographer from the gala, all of them offer statements of support. The truth begins to flood in from every corner of her life. These people have seen her, heard her, and they will not be silenced. The weight of it all feels different now. Not oppressive, but empowering. Gloria has never been one to fight with force. But now, with the right people backing her, the shift is undeniable. She's not just surviving anymore, she's thriving. Days later, the court ruling comes down, petition denied. The judge deems the accusation unsubstantiated and retaliatory. A brief flash of satisfaction lingers in Gloria's chest. For once, the legal game has worked in her favor. The ruling is final, and as the gavel strikes, Taryn and Cole are forced to face the consequences of their lies. Court costs are levied on them, a public notice is posted, and their attempt to erase her is officially crushed. But Gloria doesn't send a message, not to Taryn, not to Cole. She doesn't need to. The silence is louder than any words. Instead, she picks up the photo she's held onto for so long, the one from the gala. The one that speaks volumes. The one where she's a shadow behind Taryn, unseen but still present. She signs it with a steady hand, marking the photo as hers, and places it carefully in an envelope. No words, just the image. Gloria has nothing left to prove. Later that evening, the letter is delivered. It's a final gesture, a final cut. She watches from the window as the envelope is handed over. Taryn and Cole's house is dark, and the weight of her victory feels full and complete. Across town, Lila stands at her art studio, her eyes focused on a piece of paper where the same photo now rests, glued into a sketchbook, carefully placed beneath the title, Visibility. Lila doesn't need to explain it. The photo speaks for itself. For the first time in years, Gloria feels like she can breathe. It's not about the past anymore. It's about what comes next. The truth has been written in ink and in action. The walls they built around her, the lies they told, have fallen. There is nothing left for them to take. And with every breath she takes, Gloria knows, this time, it's hers to keep. The banquet hall is grand, its walls lined with velvet curtains and gold-framed portraits. Gloria walks through it with quiet elegance, Dory, Rami, and Lila by her side. The clink of glasses and hum of conversation surround them. But there's a different energy around Gloria, one that's not defined by the applause of the crowd, but by the weight of her own presence. She enters the room like she belongs, because she does. It's a space that's never been hers before, not in this way. The glitz and glamour once reserved for Taryn and Cole now belongs to her. No one else, no matter how hard they try, can take this from her. Taryn isn't invited. Gloria makes sure of it. There's no need for any pretense. This is her moment, and it's not for the daughter who thought she could erase her. She's not part of this world anymore, not in the way she always wanted. Cole, too, is absent. His name won't even be spoken here. There are no acknowledgments, no fake words of respect. Gloria doesn't need them. She's already taken what's hers. The stage lights dim as the event begins. The buzz of excitement in the air suddenly sharpening into silence. The host steps forward, and the crowd's eyes shift to her, waiting for the keynote speaker to rise. Gloria stands, steady, calm, a quiet strength in her movements. Dory, ever the loyal friend, offers a brief smile, a silent reassurance. Rami, too, stands a little taller, pride evident in his eyes. And Lila is the one who stands closest to her, not behind her, but beside her, a reminder of the legacy she fought for. Gloria steps to the podium, the sound of her walker gently clicking with each deliberate step she takes. The spotlight hits her like a quiet wave, casting a glow over her and her walker, the piece of mobility that has often been the symbol of her invisibility. But tonight, it gleams under the lights, a reflection of the strength she's carried for years. She looks out over the crowd, the sea of faces, many of which are unfamiliar, but some, like Rami, Dory, and Lila, feel like home. She clears her throat, the silence stretching between them like a thread pulling taut. Legacy isn't money, Gloria's voice rings clear, carrying over the room. It's memory. It's the moments you choose to hold on to, the stories you let live on. Choose who you let hold yours. Her words hang in the air, heavier than any applause that might come. They're not just a speech, they're a declaration. The room is quiet for a beat longer than expected. Then the applause begins. Slow at first, but then building. It's not the hollow cheer of politeness, but a genuine recognition, one that Gloria has earned and fought for. She stands tall, shoulders back, eyes steady, taking it all in. This moment is hers, and it will not be taken away. Lila stands beside her, her presence more than just support, it's solidarity. A quiet strength passed down through years of silent sacrifice, now finally being acknowledged. Gloria glances at her, a small smile tugging at her lips. Lila doesn't just stand behind her anymore, she stands beside her. As the flash of cameras captures the scene, Gloria feels a sense of completeness. She's finally here, in this space, in this moment that she's built with her own hands. The echoes of the past, Taryn's rejection, the years of being silenced, fade into the background, drowned out by the sound of her own voice, her own presence. Later, as the evening settles down and the crowd begins to disperse, Gloria pulls out her phone, the familiar buzz of a new message lighting up the screen. It's from Ben. Now that's how you end a story. Gloria smiles, her eyes still fixed on the hall around her, now emptying out. The weight of the moment still settling over her. The story she once thought she'd never get to tell, the one they tried to erase, is now hers to hold. The applause may fade, but Gloria knows the truth. This legacy is hers, and no one can wear it but her. Gloria's new life settles around her like a soft, familiar weight. She moves through her days with a quiet rhythm, coffee in the morning, the smell of freshly ground beans filling the air, followed by a stroll through the garden she's tended to for months. Flowers bloom under her careful attention, a reflection of the care she's finally allowed herself. The rhythm is simple, unmarked by grand gestures, but it's hers, it's what she's built. She laughs, the sound light and unburdened, a stark contrast to the years of forced silence. There's no need for ceremonies anymore, no need for the pomp that once defined her life. The house, her home, has become a sanctuary. The echo of her steps in each room doesn't feel like a reminder of the past, but a statement of ownership. Rami comes by once a week. He still helps with small repairs, offers advice on the garden, but his visits have become more than just maintenance. They've become part of her new rhythm. His presence is a reminder that she's not alone in this space. He's been a steady part of the rebuilding process, not just of the condo, but of her life. Every week, they talk about the things that matter, sometimes about the flowers, sometimes about the little repairs. But there's no hurry, no more pretending, no more hiding behind empty words. Rami is a witness to this new life she's building, a life that isn't a reflection of anyone else's expectations. Lila, too, is part of her new life, though in a quieter way. She sends voice memos, updates about her art, stories from school, and small moments of joy that warm Gloria's heart. In one of the messages, Lila mentions the art gallery opening she's planning, with a piece dedicated to visibility. Gloria smiles, the warmth of her granddaughter's voice filling the quiet corners of her new world. But even as the new life unfolds, there are remnants of the past that linger. Gloria moves through the old photo albums on her shelf one afternoon, her fingers tracing the edges of each picture. The family photos, ones that include Taryn and Cole, are easy to forget. She flicks through them, the faces frozen in time, and with each one, the pain resurfaces like a shadow she thought she'd outrun. And then she picks up the old family pictures, one by one, and deletes them. The faces of her children, once so full of promise, now blurred by the distance between them, except for one. She pauses, her fingers hovering over the delete button, before placing it back into the album. It's a photo from years ago. Taryn as a child, smiling. Gloria holds it for a moment, her breath slow, steady. She labels it, Reminder. The condo has become a place of warmth. It's not about inheritance or past mistakes. It's not about what was taken from her, but what she has now. It's a place built not on the remnants of others' lives, but on her own decisions, her own choices. And each piece of furniture, each plant, each detail is a reflection of that new reality. Dory visits, as she always does. The two of them sit in the quiet, the room full of soft light from the late afternoon sun. Dory looks at Gloria, her expression softened by the silence they share. You cut them clean, she says, her voice filled with both admiration and understanding. It's healing now, Gloria exhales, the weight of the statement settling into her chest. Distance isn't cruelty, she says, her voice steady and calm. It's protection. She doesn't need to say more. They both know. The distance she's created between herself and Taryn, between herself and the past, is the one thing that has allowed her to heal. It's not an act of cruelty. It's an act of survival. The sun begins to set, casting golden light across the room. Gloria watches it for a moment, then picks up the journal Lila gave her, flipping open the pages. This time, she doesn't write about the past. She writes about the future. She writes about her own story, one that is no longer defined by anyone else but herself. And as she writes, the weight of everything they tried to erase falls away. The pages fill, slowly, deliberately, with her own words. This story, this one belongs to her. The trust is locked. The deed is signed. Lila and Ben are protected, their futures secured by the unyielding finality of Gloria's decisions. With each stroke of the pen, Gloria has severed ties, erased the shadows of Taryn and Cole from the future she has built. There's no more room for them. No more space at her table. The lines have been drawn, and the boundaries are clear. She places the signed document into a sealed envelope, the paper crisp and cool in her hands. It's done. The weight of it doesn't settle as she thought it would, but the relief of it is real, palpable. She's taken back everything they tried to take from her legacy, her voice, her space. Taryn and Cole receive their final letter the following day. Gloria doesn't need to be the one to deliver it. The words speak for themselves. Your future here has expired. The letter is clear, devoid of emotion, and as permanent as the ink that seals it. Gloria has long since stopped looking for closure from them. The letter is just the final note in a symphony she's already written for herself. That evening, Gloria hosts a small gathering. It's not grand or showy. There are no photographers, no social media posts. Just the people who have been with her through all the quiet battles. The ones who called her by name when no one else would. Rami is there, his quiet strength still present, though there's no need to say much. Lila is there too, her presence a reminder of what's left and what's yet to come. Dory, ever the steadfast friend, stands beside her, a witness to everything Gloria has overcome. The food is simple, the conversation easy, but the quiet joy in the room speaks volumes. There are no pretensions here, no feigned smiles or forced conversations. Just honesty, just presence. For the first time in years, Gloria feels fully seen, not as a relic of the past, not as a mother discarded, but as the woman she's become, fully present in the world she has built. Later, as the evening winds down and the last of the guests leave, Gloria walks through the rooms of her condo, her steps slow, deliberate. She pauses in front of the wall where the sketch Lila gave her hangs. The drawing is delicate, capturing a moment of stillness and strength, and beneath it, Lila's words. Legacy is who stays. Gloria's eyes linger on the words, the weight of their meaning settling deep within her. This is the legacy she will leave behind. Not money, not inherited wealth, but the people who stayed, the ones who never left. The soft light from the hallway filters in, casting a glow over the drawing, and Gloria steps back, taking it all in. The condo, her life, her future. All of it is hers to keep, not because it was handed to her, but because she fought for it. Every inch of it was earned. Across the room, the gala photo hangs, the one from that night when everything shifted, when Gloria stood in the shadows, watching her daughter become the star of a story that wasn't hers to claim. Taryn's back is turned, but Gloria's presence is undeniable. She's there, in the background, silent but unwavering, watching it all unfold. Her expression in the photo says everything. She's not forgotten. She's not invisible. And she's not backing down. As Gloria stands there, alone in her quiet sanctuary, she smiles softly, her fingers brushing against the edge of the frame. The battle may be over, but the story she's written is one that will echo for years to come. And she's the one holding the pen. My daughter told her friends I was just a distant relative who needed a place to stay. So I distanced her from the fortune she thought was already hers. The final words, the truth she's reclaimed.